The Denver Broncos are now 1-2 after a second straight heartbreaking loss on a last-second field goal. And who's more to blame? Head coach Sean Payton or quarterback Bo Nix? We're here to answer that coming up next. All right, Broncos country, when it comes to the question of who do you blame, who are you pointing your finger at here on an overreaction Monday? Is it head coach Sean Payton? Is it quarterback Bo Nix? Or is there another player side of the ball that you can blame for this? I'm going Bo Nix. I'm blaming Bo Nix for this loss against the Chargers on Sunday. You had a chance to come home first in the AFC West. Sitting at 2-1, same record as the Chargers would have, and then obviously you would have the tiebreaker. But Bo Nix missed, there's actually 4. We're going to talk about the 3 big ones that you remember, but there's actually one other that happened in the first quarter that made me go, uh-oh, this might be a very long day. So if I had to divide it up percentage-wise, 100% of the blame goes to, 70% of it goes to Bo Nix. 15% of it goes to Sean Payton. He doesn't get a free pass on this, and I'll tell you why coming up. And then the other 15%, it's Talanoa Hufanga. Are you freaking kidding me? You're the captain. You're a leader on this team in your first year in Denver, and you suplex a dude in the fourth quarter when no one else on the field is moving. That's a boneheaded mistake that you don't get a free pass on. 70% Bo, 15% Sean Payton, and 15% Hufanga. Like I said, we'll dive deeper into those numbers, but that's where my splits start. So Bo Nix, he's got 5 touchdowns. He's got 3 interceptions. He's got the fumble. He's been missing throws. He's late on his reads. Then he trusts his arm strength so much to get the football there. That's what's led to some of these turnovers. I want to start in the first quarter. I think it was their second drive, third drive, one of those two. Bo Nix has Courtland Sutton going to the sticks, turning outside, like boxing out your defender, catching the ball to get a first down. Courtland did his job. Courtland runs the 6-7 yards to the sticks. He turns around. Defender slips back. Courtland's using that big old backside to box out the defender. You know what Bo Nix did? He was late to the throw and then hit the wrong shoulder. He hit the inside shoulder rather than the outside shoulder. Elite quarterbacks, and even check that. Quarterbacks at the NFL level have to be able to distinguish that. Am I throwing to your right side? Am I throwing to your left side? It's probably backwards with the mirror, but trust me, that's my right and left. And Bo didn't do that. It started in that first quarter on the second or third drive. Just misses Courtland Sutton. Absolutely misses Courtland Sutton. And then the other 3 misses, can we bring this one up, Dan? The 3 misses here, shout out to my man Ryan Green. He's one of the good ones over there at DNVR. He's the photog. And look at that. Look at the miss from Courtland Sutton. Those are diving efforts from 3 players. Now, Marv might have been able to lay out fully there with the extension in the middle, but that's on the QB, man. That's on the QB. That Marvin Mims one that you're seeing, Marvin Mims, that's the flea flicker. And why the heck is he in such a hurry to throw that ball? Go back and watch the replay. He actually runs into his center. Why is he in such a hurry? Marvin Mims is butt naked wide open. There's not a charger in the TV frame. That means they're 7 to 10 yards away from where the actual play is. And Bo was in this crazy hurry to throw that football. I don't get it. Why? Calm down, my guy. Somebody needs to tell Bo Nix, hey, before every series, I was going to say before every game, but damn, it might be every series now. Bo, you just start doing the woo-saw. Like, chill out, man. Why are you in such a hurry to win every game on the throw you're making right now? That's not how this stuff works. Have I used the golf analogy before? I think I have, right? I hit a bad shot off the tee box, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to drive it to the green this second one. And then I hit a bad second shot. Bo Nix is me as a golfer on the quarterback level at the NFL. You can't be that. I expected some struggle, minor struggles from Bo to start this because the first 4 or 5 weeks of the NFL season is just an extension of the preseason. Shout out to one of my friends on social media, said they call it the preseason plus for the first 3 or 4 weeks because you're figuring some things out in real time and getting a chance to do that in a real NFL game. But his footwork, we got to go back to May at OTAs where Bo Nix goes to his offensive coordinator, Joe Lombardi, and he says, I'm quoting here, man, so much more easier this time around because I don't have to think about my feet so much. Hey, Bo, Josh over here, Broncos fan. Can you think about your feet some more? Can you plant those and then throw the football? Can you get through your progressions at the right rate and not have to trust your arm? Yeah, you got a pretty big arm. Bet you can throw it further than I can. But when you're 5 seconds late, that's a turnover. When you're 2 seconds late, that's a PBU. When you're in a hurry to get the ball downfield, you're getting a little extra on it. Too much juice. Bo Nix has been bad for a couple of weeks. I'm not abandoning ship. If you are, I think you're making a giant mistake, but I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. Bo's been bad, and Bo's responsible for yesterday's loss. Think about those three throws we just saw. If he hits one of those, they win the game. If he hits two of those, we're talking about, damn, the Denver Broncos not only won the game, sitting in first place of the AFC West, they kind of handled the Los Angeles Chargers. And my goodness, if he hits all three of those, I'm dunking on people's heads today talking about, told y'all about Bo Nix. And I'm not doing that. You know what I'm doing? I'm putting my hands up because I'm getting dunked on all day from the Bo Nix doubters, haters, and non-believers. And I can't even say anything because you didn't give me anything to back you up on, Bo. He's been bad. I believe he's going to figure it out. But it can't be week 6 like it was last year. It's got to start this next Monday against the Bengals. If Bo Nix isn't light years ahead of the backup in Cincinnati, Jake Browning, we're going to have some big, big problems on this podcast next week. So Bo Nix, that's 70%. Let's go to Sean. He's not clear from blame. I went back and I did the math. Excuse me. I've been talking about the run-pass splits. 95-63. And actually, you could take, 8 off of there for the rushes because Bo had 8 rushes yesterday. So it's 95 to 57, 56. Quick math, not doing me well there. As far as running back rushing attempts go. That's got to be closer to an even split. But that wasn't even the biggest problem with Sean yesterday. You know what the biggest problem with Sean was yesterday? His first 9 plays. That script that we talked about before. Script your first 15. Some coaches did 20, 25 back in the Mike Shanahan days. Sean Payton went 3 and out, 3 and out, and 3 and out. And he totaled 13 yards. That's how you come out of the gates. You're definitely not throwing a punch in your first possession. You're barely even trying to shove a guy. You're kind of poking at a dude, hoping that'll annoy him enough. That's terrible from Sean Payton. 9 plays and 13 yards, and you're supposed to be this offensive guru, this offensive genius? Didn't see it on Sunday, Sean. And by the way, some creativity would be nice. I know the flea flicker was there, and it was Bo's fault that it didn't connect. But anything else? How come we don't see Marvin Mims more in motion? If Evan Ingram's going to be a ghost and gone and no joker there, use Marvin Mims in that similar role that you did last year in weeks 10 through 18. Bring him in motion more. Let him run the football. Set up a quick hit screen for a guy like Marvin Mims and get him with speed and space. Haven't seen any of that. I need so much more creativity out of Sean Payton. There's my 15% for Sean Payton. And I mentioned that other 15%, Hufanga, Huff, as the guys call him. I think he's a stud. And I think he's going to be a really, really good player for the Denver Broncos. But Sunday, when you hit a guy, and literally, maybe you didn't hear the whistles. I can give him a pass on that. But when everyone else around you stops, when the wide receiver you have wrapped up gives up, and you still pick him up and suplex him, and then you act surprised that the flag came. The whole world knew that the flag was coming. You made a giant mistake. Talanoa Hufanga is a very smart football player. There's a reason he's got to see. There's a reason a first-year player is a captain for the Denver Broncos. But what he did on Sunday with that play on Keenan Allen, what a boneheaded mistake. So out of character for such a smart football player. So Huff, that was a very, very awful decision. Now, I will say this. Right now, it's September 22nd. I'm not freaking out. I'm not giving up. I told you last week I'm not going to be worried. I think if you're worried in the month of September, you're fanning way, way too much. Let these guys figure this stuff out. There's reasons to be critical. Don't get it wrong. I'm being critical here today about Bo, about Sean, about Hufanga. Be critical all you want, but don't abandon your football team. Here's something I think's gone down. Let me get on my high horse here for a second, my soapbox. We should get a real soapbox in here, Dan. Let me stand on it. what we've done in the world is everybody wants to be right. Social media has done this so much. You have to be right, correct? I grew up in a world where I rode with my team, win, lose, or draw. And when they won, I'm riding high. When they lost, I'm cussing their name and I'm texting my boys and I'm going, what the heck's going on? It's got to get figured out. But I didn't need to be right. I think in today's society, we're so dead set on being right. Told you about Bo. I told you Greenlawn Hufanga weren't going to do it. Why do you think San Francisco let him go? What happened to screw being right and riding with your team? I'm asking you to do that, Broncos country. 2-3 more weeks. If the team still looks like this, if Bo still looks like this, we'll have a real conversation. I promise you, we will have a real conversation about what that means moving forward. But for crying out loud, the calendar hasn't even turned to October. I don't even think those Halloween spirit stores are open yet. We're about to give up on the Broncos? Come on, guys. Let's be a little bit better than that. They were bad. Bo was real bad. But I'm not done with the Denver Broncos. This version of the Broncos can still make some noise, and there's so much room to grow. All right, like, comment, subscribe. You know the action while you're here on the YouTube. I'd love to hear your thoughts today. Are you with me in blaming Bo? You giving him a pass? You blaming more Sean, VJ, Hufanga? Where are you pointing your fingers today? Tell me in the comments. I'll come back, react to you guys live right there in the comments. Always shout out to my man Dan making this thing work for us. You're going to see our socials at the end of this video. Make sure you're following along. We can be friends all the time there on social media. This has been Dover on Denver, and now I'm done.